there was nobody here to load them up with more goods to take further south, non-perishables, things that store better, especially grain and hops. And they say there were flowers everywhere in town, and that damn gnome's face is plastered all over the place.
Wait, which gnome?
And they don't know the gnome's name. Gnome is doing some kind of business in town where he's selling flowers, and anybody that they try to do business with, and then you look back over at the tent that is slightly a-rockin'. And they say, let's just say that it'll be grim times ahead for Lanador if they can't meet their obligations. So Umfiz approaches the tent, and what do you do?
Well, I was gonna... Well, before they started, I was gonna tell them.
So let me just clarify. This is pokedude's first D&D session.
Yes.
So everybody's gonna ask, how did your first D&D session go?
I interrupted the rock hawk.
Well, I was about to walk in and ask what's going on. Then I slowly back away after seeing it.
Slowly back away. I would ask Nimbletuft what's going on, but I think that's best left to the imagination.
Yes.
I mean, you can hear some flaps and some like stuff like thudding against the walls of the canvas walls of the tent. There's a couple of squawks again, like I mentioned.
I like to think that Aarakocra are like ducks. They have that explosive corkscrew penis.
Oh.
Now I'm glad we're all thinking of that now.
God damn it!
The only thing worse than the echidna.
Yeah.
Why?
But that's the tenor of the conversation takes. Very disappointment about not being able to do business in Lanador, and none of them really know what they're going to do next.
But there have been people around here, just preoccupied.
You mean like travelers, visitors to town?
Yeah.
They say it's possible, but they were only in town one day, and they usually do business with the same couple of tradesmen and merchants every time. And today, those tradesmen and merchants were indisposed.
I'll point to the tent that's rocking. And did he do business with somebody unusual?
Says, yeah, your bird friend. They don't get more unusual than that.
Could they perhaps bring us to the house that they normally do business with?
And they shake their head. Said that nobody was there to receive us. The store was closed for business.
Perhaps if we waited out there for someone to return.
And the two merchants kind of angrily exchange glances. Look back and say, friend, you're welcome to try your luck if you want. But our time in Lanador has come to an end. We need to move on, and quickly at that. Hopefully we'll find another caravan traveling north on the road and unload some of these goods.
Sorry.
So the deed is over surprisingly quickly, and with no small amount of pain being dealt to the merchant. And Nimbletuft comes walking back out of the tent looking refreshed?
Walk or saunter?
He's gnawing on that meat that he was offered in return.
And the merchant walks out after, lacing his breeches back up. Seems to have failed his charisma save. The Aarakocra enjoyed it more than you did.
Does he level down, or did he take a constitution drain, or what?
He was already level 0. Can't go lower than that. But yeah, last few hours of daylight, the merchants make a swift decision to try to pack up their things into the wagon and continue the journey south as far as they can get.
Do we really have any time to make it to another settlement, or would it be best just to keep this small campsite going for the night?
Well, you could make it to the village borders before nightfall easily.
Is the caravan abandoning the tents?
No, they're going to take them down and pack them up.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, they've got a fire and a spit already roasting here. It'd be a shame to let it go to waste.
Well, or you didn't waste it. There was 10 of you eating what was meant for only 5.
Then it might be time to hoof it to a town.
Yeah.
Enough fooling around here. And I shoot
Said the drow with the fairy princess name.
Hey, I did not get freaky in a tent. I leave that up to bird person.
And Nimbletuft says, hey, you might not have got freaky in a tent, but you didn't get 2 rations a meal either.
Does land?
I
How
will
fast does
survive.
land hands recharge?
Long rests.
Long rest. Okay. That's what, an hour?
Yes.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, have we all
burn
had a rest right now?
Short
burn
rest
up,
if you've taken one.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn up lay on hands to get myself back up to full.
Okay.
Laphak's been
Fine.
patrolling, so he hasn't taken any rest. Just to make sure nothing else happens.
Yeah, there was time for a
Umfiz,
short rest, but not a long round. The meal only took 15-20 minutes. Nimbletuft's adventure was pretty quick as well.
I, for one, am interested to see these flower petals. There may be something if the villagers are acting strange, there may be something causal going on here.
That's just preposterous.
So what's the decision? Where are you all heading next?
Sounded like we're going to the village
It's probably going to town.
It's really
to
up to Chris.
Lanador.
Wherever she wants to go, we follow.
I made 2 wolves explode by looking at them. That is preposterous.
Yeah,
Flowers
I needed
is
to talk
every
to you about that. You really should learn to tone that down.
I will tone it down after the wolves decide to tone it down. I do not see that happening anytime soon.
And you see the merchants are gathering up the dead ravens and wolves as well. No point letting the meat go to waste.
Fair enough for them.
The rest of you travel past the rundown farmhouses down into Lanador's rustic town square. What's usually a drab village is dotted with bright spots of color, which on closer inspection you see are huge bouquets of vibrantly colored flowers. And these flowers are packed along every windowsill in town, both private residences, businesses, storefronts. Everybody is hooked on these flowers. You see flyers posted, like handbills, posted on walls and posts and near the well in the village square. And you see a winking gnomish face beaming at you from these handbills. And there's a message that says, "Tulips as flowers, the perfect gift for your sweetheart." To your left of the square, you see a building marked as the Polished Plate. And this time of day, there's a din of activity and sound inside. It looks to be a bar or a restaurant. And on the other side, you see a building labeled the Glossy Bedpost, which has a large carved sign that advertises nightly rates. And beneath the nightly rates, you see hastily scrawled in a fresh coat of paint an added message that says hourly 2 copper.
Okay.
Sounds like they are advertising to Nimbletuft.
I say we grab a poster and head on into the establishment.
Before they go in, Frederick is going to look for a flower that is going to see if he can find a flower that looks like it hasn't been disturbed since it was first thrown around.
Oh, and easily enough. I mean, you see flowers that have been planted in planters along windowsills, probably just fresh this morning.
Oh wait, so these are like flowers still in the ground, not like flowers that have been strewn all over the place.
Oh, they're like flowers and planters.
You
and
see
stuff
both.
like
I
that.
mean, you see them sitting in on the inside of windows in little pots. You see people have them in planters. Looking inside some of the buildings, you see them in vases on shelves and tables. You do see individual flowers that have been strewn on the ground, but these have, of course, been trampled through the day's traffic.
I don't care if they've been trampled. I want to know. I'm gonna take one of those and do. I'm gonna do what I'm getting at is I'm gonna do an object reading on it to see who held it last.
Okay. So where do you
We're
retrieve the
basically
flower
just in
from?
Holland.
Just Just anywhere that it looks like nobody's picked it up since it was first thrown down.
Okay. And where are you going to concentrate on this?
I'm
standing
going
in the
to.
square?
I'm going to pocket it. I'm going to pocket it right now and do it later when I have time.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to run to my fridge just real quick and get a glass of iced tea. And when we come back, we'll see if we can't get Nimbletuft late again.
Nice.
Pokedude, I'm just imagining the whole town looks like Holland. like we're just deep in Dutch town right now. So first order of business is find the winking gnome? Question
guess.
mark?
That sounds like an idea.
I might go ahead and do an object reading on the poster too.
I think we should all stop and smell the flowers.
Now,
Yeah, actually.
No,
at Dragon Con,
probably not a good idea.
that amorous encounter with the merchant, I decided to give it to Nodal. And he didn't bite. He wanted nothing to do with it. And I was so disappointed. But I knew Nick would have my back. I knew.
I think Nick also had that merchant's back.
So you have the two establishments that look to large gatherings of people coming and going, doing a bustling business. On one side you have the polished plate, which is a diner. And on the other side you have the glossy bedpost, which looks like an inn.
The diner is probably going to be more talkative.
Yeah.
Hey, Brick,
Yeah.
can I grab one of the tulips that's been discarded and just do a nature check on it to see if there's anything odd about it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
It takes you a couple
assuming
minutes to find a tulip specifically, but you do indeed find one.
Because that's what's on the poster, right? That's one of the flowers that's being strewed around.
No, that's the name of the gnome is Tulips, as in two lips.
Oh!
See, it's
Oh, then what? It's one of
Ah.
the... Alright.
goddamn gnomes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn gnomes. Well,
Yeah. Gnomes are stupid.
This is why you never let a gnome run a duchy.
11.
11.
It's 12 on my nature check.
Okay. You pick up one of the flowers and examine it for a couple of minutes, and you don't see anything off about it. It's very colorful. It doesn't look like anything is awry. I mean, these are flowers you could find in the wild if you knew where to look for them. But they are very clearly being grown in some numerous amounts. Like somebody is purposely growing them.
It's just weird that there seems to be a large quantity of flowers. Alright. I throw the thing away then.
I'm gonna pick it up and see what it smells like.
It smells like a tulip. So heading into the polished plate, you open the door and find what is typically a simple rustic tavern is filled to capacity. A lone barmaid is hustling around serving drinks and food to the many patrons, and the people inside are almost unanimously sitting in pairs. The people inside are snuggling each other closely, and their tables are lit by low-burning candles. There's a bard in the corner that's crooning out ballads about mythic romances. And a stand by the bar is filled with fresh-cut flowers and the friendly... you see the label on the vase has the friendly winking gnome. Tulips as flowers. The barmaid notices you all enter and ushers you inside towards the bar.
All right, I'll take a seat.
Have a seat.
Are
Yeah.
there open seats?
I'll mosey on over to the bard, see if I can't pick up anything. Just how ridiculous these tales are.
Not ridiculous at all. It seems... Right now he's singing a low, soft song about unrequited love.
Can I start wiggling my eyebrows at him?
To what end?
Just trying to rile him up a little bit, get the song really flowing.
Roll an intimidation check.
Okay.
And yeah, the rest of you are able to shoulder up to the bar
Yeah.
and find seats.
I'll signal to the
Wow.
bartender. Glass of your strongest ale, please.
2.
How did the intimidate go?
19.
19. And he misses a few bars. And his voice wavers when he looks down and sees the Drow princess giving him the stink eye from the front row. You've managed to take him off kilter, but he does not stop playing. He powers on. After a few moments, the barmaid catches a couple seconds and she comes over and she introduces herself as Francine.
Nice to meet you, Francine.
And she,
What's good? What do you recommend?
And very hastily, she tells you what they're serving tonight. There's really only the ale on offer. Dinner's already been served for you. We might be able to scrape something together. Hold on just a second. She turns to collect empty mugs and plates from the people sitting right behind you. And as she does so, she rattles off the 3 or 4 kinds of ale that Landor serves.
Mm. 2 mugs.
Now,
Umfiz will pass.
I will take a mug of water and whatever food you have available.
Parsley's off with the bard. How are the rest of you sitting? If the bar is, say, this is the bar here, how are you all sitting?
Oh,
So I'm sitting right up at it.
Umfiz is going to pass on a drink and just keep an eye on the princess.
gonna sit wherever.
I'm assuming the bard's somewhere over here. We're pretty close.
It doesn't matter where the bard is. He's not. He's in the opposite corner from the bar where everybody else is.
Laphak is not sitting. He's standing behind the party.
Okay. And the barmaid takes down everybody's drink orders and notices Laphak's kind of standing off by himself and looks at him a little sadly for a minute. This is, sweetie, I'm sure it's nothing personal. You've certainly come to the right place. Whether you're looking for a soulmate or a bedmate, you'll find one in Lanador. And she winks at you and heads back behind the bar.
Laphak is unimpressed. He crosses his arms, actually.
So who all is drinking?
I'm not.
Nimbletuft is drinking.
At some
drinking-
point, I'd have wandered over and grabbed a pint of something.
I'm drinking water, if that counts. And as soon as she returns with the drinks, I'm going to go ahead and use a side point to activate my advantage on wisdom checks.
Hello?
Brick?
Oh,
Brick, you there?
It just got really quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah. Did lightning happen?
Lightning may have happened.
Did lightning happen?
So I'm still
Well,
connected.
stream.
Yeah.
Server's still up.
Brick is now muted. Now Brick is unmuted. Did his connector fall out of the back of his microphone?
Maybe. If Brick, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Lightning might not have happened, but Peanut might have.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, there's Brick in chat. Fix it, fix it, fix it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's having mic issues, it seems.
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
I heard it. I saw his lips light up.
Or the tulips.
Yeah, the 2 lips.
I think I accidentally unplugged my microphone with
Well
my
done.
monster manual.
Well done.
Nice.
What was the last thing that I said?
You were
I
asking.
think you
us
asked
where,
who drank.
who's getting
Nimbletuft,
drinks.
getting
you
a drink?
drank.
Yep, my drink.
You drank. What did you have?
I had their sweetest ale.
Your sweetest ale is far too bitter for your taste, but ale and alcohol it is. Laphak, are you drinking?
No.
No. Frederick.
I was drinking water, and as soon as she returns with the drinks, I'm spending a psi point for Unwavering Eye.
Okay.
I want to do like an insight check to see if she's maybe tampered with the drinks in any way.
Let me get the rest of these drink orders down, and I will resolve that. Nadric, you're drinking?
Yep.
What?
I have an ale as well.
And Umfiz? Isn't at the bar. Umfiz and Parsley are
Yeah.
over there by the bar. Okay. She comes back with the drinks, and she gives you your water. And you want to find out if she's tampered with it. What do you ask her?
Geez, let me think. How do I even phrase this? So, what sort of things do you put in the? Nah, that's not what I'm.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, did you put
what's-
stuff in here?
So, what goes into your ales here?
And she says, "Oh, sweetie, only the finest hops and a whole lot of love."
Want to know if she means anything extra by that? A whole lot of love.
Yeah, you could throw an insight check.
Will be a 17.
Love seems to be in no short supply in Lanador as of late. But if she's trying to hide anything, you're definitely not picking up on it. And she does apologetically cut the conversation short. She has a lot of other patrons she needs to deal with tonight.
Obviously.
But she comes back around every couple of minutes. And every time she does, she takes a moment to exchange a few words with Laphak. She comes back and can't help but notice you're drinking very slowly tonight. A man your size, you can put 2 or 3 pints away, I'm sure.
Yep. Leaves it at that.
Not much for words, this guy. I've been hanging around him. I still can't get him to crack a smile.
At some point after a bard's finished a song, I'll wander over to the bar.
Okay.
And whenever the barmaid comes by, just hold up the poster and go, "So, what's with tulips here?"
Okay. When you're standing up to walk over to the bar, as the barmaid's coming back around, what is Parsley's passive perception? Oh, it's a dick and balls. Okay, what is...
Oh, yeah.
What is Umfiz's passive perception? I was only looking for 10, and Parsley doesn't even have 10. Umfiz.
10.
The princess stands up to walk back towards the bar, and you get up to follow her over, and you notice there's a group of men sitting in the other corner of the bar, watching Laphak very angrily. And then Parsley goes over to the bar.
Alright, I say, you got a problem with my comrade?
So you're going over to the men?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put a wall around here, just in case. You know, you never know. When we're gonna have to roll initiative, you never know. That's a pretty good square, right? So we'll have the door over here. Door to the back room, back behind the bar. We'll have the bard singing over here. Tables strewn about, and then the table with the few men will be over in this corner here. So Umfiz, go ahead and move yourself to the corner. Parsley, move yourself to the bar. If you went to the bar and you're showing the handbill to the barmaid, Francine, and you say... What do you say to Francine? Did we lose Parsley?
Oh, no, sorry, nope.
There
I'm
you
here.
are. Okay.
Just holding up her the poster that I tore down. And
Uh-huh.
what's with the tulips, guy?
And her face lights up, and she says, "He just grows the prettiest flowers." And as she says that, she reaches up to where she has one of the flowers. She's wearing it in her hair, and she kind of twirls it between her finger and thumb for a moment.
Oh, They are lovely flowers. Where might I get some for myself and the company?
Umfiz, walking up to the men, you see one of them in particular. His gaze has turned from Laphak to Parsley, and he's looking more and more upset by the second.
Is there a problem here?
How many men are here? Oh, 5 men. I'm going to go ahead and spawn those in real quick, because I get the sneaking suspicion.
Before we go too far on this, how long has it been since we sat down and started drinking when this is going on?
10 or 15 minutes or so.
Okay, because while this has been going on, I've been doing my object reading on the tulip that on the flower that I picked up outside.
You get a couple of images about what's happened in the life of this flower over the past day. And the first, you see a young gnomish girl, very young. Not sure what it translates to in human years, but kindergarten age. Clipping a row of tulips with little clippers and gathering them up and binding them together in ribbon. And then you get an image later of a much older gnome, like a grandfather figure, coming into town with a billy goat. And on the billy goat's back is loaded down with bushels and bushels of flowers. And he's selling these batches of tulips and other kinds of flowers to the people in town. And a young man buys the one that you're reading and gifts it to his sweetheart, and then it's immediately discarded in the road as they fluttered off over to the glossy bedpost. And that was it. After that, it's just a day of being trampled in the road, and then you came along and picked it up.
Fair enough.
So Umfiz walks up to the guy in green here is the one that's looking kind of angrily at Parsley at this point. Parsley, you be closer to the bar. Go ahead and place yourself probably over here, up where I'm tabbing. We'll say that's where you encountered the barmaid, because I think positioning is about to get interesting. And look at the bard on the stage down here. So Umfiz, you say you have a problem with my companions?
Yeah.
And he stands up, very angrily indeed, throwing his chair behind him, and it clatters to the floor. He says, "I'll tell you my problem." And he looks over to his friends. He says, "Men, these strangers," and he points to the princess and says, "including that dark elf whore, they think they can come into Lanador and steal our women with their charms. Let's teach them a lesson."
At that point, that's when once Nadric hears dark elf whore, that would be like, he'll set down his mug and just be like, "Excuse me for a moment."
Or Nadric can roll initiative.
Yeah, that's what we do.
You hear the triangle hit the desk.
Frederick just looks over at the guy and says, "I assure you, I have no charms. What are you looking? What do you even take me for?"
And you can absolutely do that on your initiative count.
Okay. That'll be a 9.
I meant to put a lot of this prep work into notes like I usually do every week, but this week, Mario Maker happened.
Good God.
Yeah, you betrayed us with the Wii U.
You only have yourself to blame, Brickard. You're the one who said, "You know what sounds like a great idea? Going out and buying a Wii U."
Yeah, no kidding.
After you said you were not going to do it.
I never said I wasn't going to. I said it was going to be a couple of years. And the reason I did it is because of Patreon. Because, I wanted to get that 3DS capture to stream Nintendo games, but there probably won't be a 3DS capture ever again. So this is the next best thing. We are still going to do the Nintendo, or the Zelda-thon, but we'll discuss that a little bit. Ooh, we're not doing a D&D stream here.
Yeah.
I would like to discuss that a little bit. So, everybody go ahead and roll initiative, and I will get the counts out here in a second.
All right.
I see you failed to give us unarmed attack, stuff on our character sheets.
Oh, I've got one.
Well, that's because you're a birdman's.
I think it's like D2 or something.
It's 1 damage.
Oh.
Yeah, unless you're a monk or a birdman's.
Well, that's pretty close to D2.
Hope that this guy, that you knock a few of these guys flat, they'll realize, hey,
Nimbletuft.
don't fuck with us.
Mm-hmm. 9.
Going on 9. And Laphak.
13.
And Frederick. Frederick.
9. Sorry.
9.
I forgot that was me.
Now, because his name technically is Fred, should we just make him go on 1 every round?
Yes.
Nadric.
It's Frederick
20.
with 2 Ds.
And Parsley.
And I have a 17.
How did you roll that with your awful, awful stats?
You gave me a +1 initiative.
And Umfiz.
16.
16. So, yeah, Nadric, you hear this man stand up and bellow out insulting things about your princess. And it's your initiative. They all look like
Push
they're
back
reaching
to the
for
bar.
weapons.
Walk over here. Walk up to this guy. Say, you mind telling me that again?
But you don't act, you just get in his face.
At this point, nah. Yeah, nah. It's, yeah.
All
Slug
right.
his ass. Slug his ass.
You're going to slug him, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Does a
for the record, you can attack with any weapon, and you just declare before the attack whether or not it's a non-lethal strike. If you don't actually want to slaughter these guys in the bar, you don't have to go with unarmed strikes. You can use your weapons. You'll just knock them unconscious when they hit 0 instead of kill them.
Yeah, that will be my intention. That's a 16 to hit.
I believe that hits. It does indeed.
And then that is 8 damage.
Okay.
You mind saying that again after I whack him?
Nadric walks up and just swinging his flail and clobbers the guy upside his head where he's wearing this little leather helmet, covering his ears down over the bridge of his nose. And you ring his bell, but that just makes him even madder and madder. And now he's going to...
Bonus action, come at me, bro. Casting my spell again.
Casting what
It's
spell?
That was compelled duel.
Oh, don't worry. He was going to attack you anyway.
Yeah.
So he picks up this mace down off the floor where he was resting. And he takes 2 kind of lazy swings at you. Looks like he's moving a little slower because his head's still ringing from your flail. And he misses both swings. That brings us to Parsley.
Can I duck behind the bar here just a little bit?
Absolutely.
Bard can
Good.
hide. I love
I'm
it.
gonna hide right here. Just let these guys take care of it for now.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Find me a D20.
Plenty of them on the table.
Again with a good roll. Stealth. +1 to that, so 17.
Okay. And Parsley sees trouble a brewing and very nobly and exaltedly ducks down behind the bar. Umfiz.
Alright, Umfiz is gonna take a couple steps back, and then, Longbow, the leader.
Okay. Which square are you in? This one or this one?
Uh,
I'm going to put Laphak here, actually. I'm going to put Nadric here. That's fine.
Yeah.
Also,
Sorry
you're
about
like
that.
kind of askew. That's weird. There, I fixed you.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll the hit.
Right, that is 15.
That hits.
Uh, 8 damage.
8 damage. And you put an arrow that you were assuming was going to plunge directly into his shoulder, but it looks like underneath his his cloak that he's wearing, he's got a suit of leather armor. But it still hits him, and he winces in pain, and you see the blood start to well up on the inside of the cloak. Laphak.
Sensing that a bar fight is about to break out.
Okay.
What do you mean about to?
Well, again, fair point. He brandishes his great axe and tries to be as intimidatingly as possible. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Basically, intimidate these guys into not acting, saying that they should sit down, shut up, and enjoy their drinks.
Okay, make an intimidate check.
Really have good intimidation, though. That's sad.
Do you still have that bardic inspiration for this?
That's over. It's too long. It's been
Dang.
too long.
19.
19?
Yeah.
Three of them sit down, shut up, and avoid their drinks. But the last guy, he looks like he's had a couple drinks. Why don't you stand on your head? Stand on your head. There you go. This last guy here, he looks like he's already had a few, and he looks you up and down. He's got this look on his face like, yeah, I could take him. Frederick.
Is the bartender still around?
No, when she saw the violence start, she ducked back down underneath the bar.
Be right back.
She let out
Her
a
and I
little
are
yelp
gossiping
and
behind the.
knelt
Her
back
and
down
I are
under the bar.
gossiping off in a corner.
Frederick wants no part of this.
Frederick,
He thinks of what's going. He thinks that this is stupid on both sides. So he's just sitting there drinking his water, acting like he doesn't know the others.
and Nimbletuft. Nimbletuft.
Oh, I'm looking at my options here.
Wait, actually, there is one thing that I do. Just in case, I switch my thing to Intellect Fortress from Third Eye.
Okay.
Just in case someone actually does attack me.
And what does Nimbletuft do?
Who is the big man looking at right now?
Right now he's looking at Nadric, because Nadric just rang his bell with a flail, and then he took two swings with his mace. He's noticed that Laphak has come up next to Nadric and has taken up arms there, and shouted at all his men to stand down. But it looks like he's focused on Nadric.
Alright, Nimbletuft is going to cast Disguise Self.
Okay.
Into the form of or disguise himself to look like a beautiful woman.
Any particular beautiful woman, or?
Let's, the bartender left, right? So let's say the bartender.
Yeah, she's not in sight. She either ducked back into the back room or ducked down behind the counter.
Then he's gonna run over and say soothingly to the old man, "Come on, they're not worth it. Come back."
Roll a deception check.
Okay.
And roll that with advantage because you disguised yourself.
Let's see, deception. All right.
Oh.
So that's a 17.
17. And he watches you come over and you say, "Baby, they're not worth it. Come on." And he looks distracted for a second, but you know that you haven't fooled him. And he says, "I watched you cast the spell, Birdman." And now it's dudes. Or dude, as the case may be.
The dude.
So the one dude steps forward, and he's very upset at Laphak. And I think that's going to miss, but I'll double check. No, that does actually hit. Word. He's on with his short sword, and he gets you for 5 points of piercing damage, which you can... Oh, you're not raging, are you?
I'm not raging.
So, yeah.
I might be now.
The 5 points. As he comes in, he does not look intimidated by you in the slightest. The rest of the dudes have taken their seats and have backed as far into against the wall as they can get. That's going to bring us back to Nadric.
Knock this guy flat. Knock him flat. Knock him flat. Knock him flat.
Plus 5 to hit is 23.
23 hits.
And pew, there goes my damage die for another 10 damage.
Give him another whack with your flail. This time you get him right in the stomach and knock the wind out of him, and he stumbles for a moment, but doesn't go down.
Okay.
He's going to take another swing. And again, he swings with his big mace. 2 swings, in fact, but both go wide.
Had a little bit much to drink.
Not used to swinging at dwarves. Parsley.
Circle around the bar this side.
Do you have that much
Go
movement?
for a... Yeah, I got 6. That
6
should be
squares.
fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
I should be good there. And closed parasol right on his back.
What was that stealth roll you had? When you rolled it? It was like 6.
It was like a 17.
17. It was a 17.
Alright, yeah, roll with advantage. He does not know you're there.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's also a back attack, man.
Back attacks only count in Final Fantasy Tactics. And now that I said that out
Drow-
loud, I'm not sure they do.
Drows only play dirty. Alright, so we have 18 plus whatever
Yeah,
my
you're
modifier
good.
would.
Go ahead and roll
Yeah,
the damage
I
on
figured
that.
as much. Woohoo! Alright, where are we going here?
Are you trying to kill him?
It's a closed parasol, dude. If only I could bludgeon a man to death with a parasol in everyday life. Let's see. 2 plus 1 plus 3. Is that how I'm reading these 2 bonuses work?
Your damage is 1d8 plus 1 with the parasol.
1d8 plus 1.
Yep.
Alright. He gets 3 damage to his back.
Okay. So that wasn't enough to put him down anyway. But
That's-
what you
that's
do,
a
you
little
stab him right in the butt, coming in behind him, and he lets out this yelp and startles for a moment. Umfiz.
Okay, Umfiz is gonna hop on the table and alright, just spear him, non-lethal.
You're doing what to him?
I'm gonna use my spear, non-lethal.
At first I heard I'm going to beer him. Like, you're going to grab a
What?
mug of beer, just
What?
crash it down on his head.
That would work.
Would thematically appropriate.
Okay, that's 14.
That hits.
And it's 12. Oh, sorry, 10 rather.
And you come around with the butt of your spear, and you get him right in the back of the neck. And his vision goes black for a moment. He falls to his knees with his head in his hand, reeling. You see he's just on the edge of consciousness. He's at 0 HP. He only had 3 hit points left after Parsley got him in the butt. Laphak.
Alright. Since he's taken damage, as a bonus action, he'll activate Rage.
Okay.
God.
He's going to try and grapple this guy around his neck and lift him up off the ground.
The guard?
Hmm?
Okay.
Alright.
That's an athletics check.
Yep. And that's a...
And he rolled a 1, so you couldn't possibly do worse than that.
Okay. Rage gives him advantage.
There's
And
that 20.
There's that.
There's that 20.
With a speed and ferocity that the man mountain seldom brings to bear, his arm shoots out and gets him around the neck and pulls him up off the ground, and you all just see his little freakish legs kicking. His short sword goes clattering to the ground. What's your intention holding him up in the air? Is that you're looking to end the combat? Looking to throttle him? Okay.
Looking to end the combat. Tell me you yield.
And he says, I yield. I yield. I yield.
I give him a little stink eye before I let go and drop him to the ground.
And he drops to the ground with a... He looks up at you a little bit. Says, Blimey, make them big where you come from, don't they? And with that, the bar seems to liven up a little bit. Now they see the violence is over and nobody has been killed. The barmaid comes back, pokes her head back out of the door, back behind Parsley, with a tray full of mugs of ale. So did you boys get all that out of your systems? Are we ready to hug on it now and move on?
Does
Clear
she
my
see
throat.
doppelganger in there?
Does she see...
I'm currently disguised as her.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Start
That's
eyeing
cool.
herself up.
She does.
Oh my god. Oh
You just
my god.
mostly surprise more than anything, though. But she doesn't comment or say anything about it. She just... Her eyes, like, fall on you for a couple of moments. And her words trail off for a second. And then she kind of shakes her head and goes back about busying herself with her work. Like, she didn't really see what she thought she saw.
I'll take my seat again and drop the disguise.
And after the comments, just kind of shoulder my way through these guys and move back to the far end of the bar.
Laphak will go back to the bar and ask for food. He's hungry now.
Their
Whatever
dinner
they can muster.
that they bring out, and it takes her a few minutes because the meal had already been served. There was a lot of just half-eaten plates, a lot of food just sitting cold and untouched on the tables around the bar that had then been recollected and taken back. And even that didn't look too appetizing. It looks like scraps, like hard bread, half a bowl of cold stew. There's just not much here.
Laphak doesn't care. He's worked up an appetite, so he's eating, and as he's eating, he's staring angrily at the guys in the corner.
Okay. And after a moment, the guys pick their friend back up and get him back down, and you see he lifts his leather helmet off his head, and he's got a big knot coming out of his skull, and he sits there massaging as he has his other drink. How does the rest of the evening go in the bar?
Well, Frederick asks the bartender if this sort of thing happens often.
She says more and more often these days, but such is the price for love.
How long?
Nope. Nimbletuft
More
says
and more often these days, you say. I take it. I surmise that this town was not always like this, then.
She says, oh no, things got much brighter and livelier after Tulips brought his family in and set up on the plot on the outskirts of the farmlands.
How long ago was this?
She thinks for a moment. This is, I don't know, 8 or 9 months perhaps. She says, isn't it lucky that people started buying his flowers left and right after he showed up? He has his whole family working at the Enterprise now.
9 months, you say?
She nods. About that. Not quite a year, I wouldn't think.
Expecting a population boom anytime soon?
And she looks at you quizzically. She doesn't seem to get it. She says, no, not that I'm aware of.
Nimbletuft
Peter
says,
clears his throat.
speaking of the price for love, if you'd like to arrange alternate payments for the ale.
Oh, you all have already paid for the ale.
Oh, okay.
Coin. We're just not tracking coin because it's silvers and it's a one-shot, so who cares?
Right.
So,
Peter clears his throat.
Nimbletuft, Frederick, and Nadric all had drinks.
Yep.
Does water count?
Yes.
Yes.
As the course of the evening goes on and you nurse your drink, you get to the bottom of it. The three of you feel this peacefulness in your body. I mean, violence aside, you got that out of your systems. But there's this peacefulness and confidence just settles on the top of your psyche. The three of you have advantage on charisma checks for the time being.
Cool.
And
Do we notice that this is? Do we notice that anything is anything? Do we notice that it's like unusual? Like maybe it came from something.
it does feel a little unusual, yes.
Nature just attributes it to the fact that he just whacked this guy over the head twice and pacified him. So no, that's got him pretty well pleased with himself. So that's where he would attribute it to.
And over the course of the evening, people come and go very rapidly. Oftentimes, they'll come in for a moment, pay for drinks, have them sit down, and then quickly, the pair of them will scuttle off again without even touching the mugs. Like they've got somewhere very pressing to be, some very urgent business to attend to. So, overturn inside of the tavern is very swift right now.
So, I'm going to finish my mug of water.
Okay.
And as I'm doing so, I'm going to go ahead and put a what's it called again? I'm going to be doing an object reading on this mug.
On the mug.
And I'm also going to put a psychic sensor in the mug.
Okay.
And after I have a psychic sensor in the mug, I'm going to give it back to the bartender and ask for a refill.
Okay. Refresh my memory on the psychic sensor.
I can basically see as though I am where the mug is, and see and hear as though I'm where the mug is.
Okay. As far as the object reading, you see the mug being washed and filled.
And I know exactly where the mug is, relative to myself.
Okay. Yeah, as far as the object reading, you see visions of the mug being filled and washed over and over and over and over again over the course of the day. And within 5 minutes of taking it into the back, it is again filled and brought out to another table. So you now have the psychic sensor in the mug in the tavern.
Nothing unusual back there in the back room?
Very busy and in quite a bit of disarray because they only have... Looks like it's just her and then a young man working in the back room very feverishly at the wash tub. With this basin of dirty water, trying to scrub plates and mugs as fast as they can come back.
Okay.
But it's other than just the busyness of the situation, it doesn't look like anything's remiss. I mean, the mug goes back, it's thrown into the basin, he rinses it out, sloshes what at one point might have been soapy water around, gives it a go through with his rag to dry it, and then immediately the barmaid picks it back up, puts another draught of ale in it, and back out the door it goes. And so the sun does set, and evening turns into night, and the place stays hopping long into the night.
I try and round up the compatriots, and might be time to head out.
Yeah, I'm going to
We're not
suggest to
socializing
Princess
for the night.
that we head out to the inn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good.
Heading across the street to the glossy bedpost. The heavy oak door swings open and you see the interior very plainly decorated. In fact, this is the only building in town that you don't see decked out with flowers. There was a planter out front that had a couple of the flowers in it, but on the inside, very simple, plain colors. Nothing very decorative at all in here. The desk across from the door is manned by an old, gloomy-looking dwarf. And he doesn't even bother to look up as he's shuffling this enormous, just overpiled stack of receipts on the desk in front of him. And he greets you, kind of emotionlessly. He says, "Welcome to the Glossy Bedpost, finest inn in Lanador. How many hours do you need?"
We're actually looking for the whole night. Try and break in front of the party and do most of the negotiating before someone gets a little carried away and shoot a...
And
We
he
need
looks
to
up,
go the whole night, if you know what I mean.
and you see first you feel like a flash of surprise at how many people have walked in the door asking for a room at once. Usually it's only the two.
Several rooms, if you have them available.
Then you see it turn to a look of disgust that you're very familiar with seeing on dwarven faces when they encounter your dark elf visage. But he maintains his professionalism. He says, "Well, for the whole night, so I might be able to squeeze the lot of you into one of the rooms upstairs. I think room number 3 should be opening up in just a moment. I could set up a couple of cots in there for the rest of you."
Can we get the sheets cleaned?
He sighs and nods and says, "I assure you, they're turned after every occupation." He says, "They've only got about 10 more minutes." And he tells you the rates for the night. The 6 of you are going to have to squeeze into one room. He can't afford to tie up that many rooms over the night. He expects to turn them over many times over the course of the night.
My fair, dainty visage shudders at the thought.
And 5 minutes go by. 10 minutes goes by. 20 minutes go by. 30 minutes go by, and it's stretching out into about 40 minutes when the dwarf... You see, he keeps looking back at the stairs over and over, every few seconds.